Winner bracket final in Group A. The winner of this best of 3 series qualifies for the playoffs. We got the Bounty Hunters against the Raccoons. It's gonna get good here. Now again, this is the Murky Cup number 2. And there's a couple of things that we have to talk about as usual. First of all, we have a draft rule here, which means that a hero can only be played once within the series. So 10 heroes that you see in game number 1 cannot be played again on the second map, and obviously that continues as we're going through the series. In a best of 3, it has a bit of an impact, but it will have a bigger one once that we're hitting the best of 5 matches in the playoffs, for example, or in the last chance qualifier. But we have also another rule in the Murky Cup, which is kind of important. We're using a bounty system here. And if this is the first one that you're actually watching, the bounty system essentially is incentivizing teams to play compositions that are a little bit more unorthodox. And we are pulling this off by splitting the prize pool. So there's a normal prize pool that we have for the tournament. It's 1,000 euros. And as in any traditional tournament, it gets shared between the top teams in the tournament. But we also have a bounty prize pool. That one's crowdfunded. If you want to contribute to the bounty pool, the link is in the description. Especially if you're watching this on YouTube, you can contribute there. People have been asking in the past, hey, how can we contribute to a tournament directly? That's a good way. So just to give you a bit of an idea of the bounties, these are bounties that the teams can complete. And it means if the team completes a bounty, they get 1 bounty point, 1 bounty ticket. If they fail a bounty, they get half. There are a couple of bounties that get extra rewards, for example, Butcher and Murky. If you complete it, you get 2 bounty points, 2 bounty tickets. If you fail the bounty, you still get only half of one. It's something that we're now trying so that teams are not afraid of, trying some... Because these are all handicaps, right? Like, these are all things that make it harder for you to win. So we don't want teams that are just afraid all the time because they're getting nothing out of it. And we're going to try this time in this tournament what happens, hey, if we're giving teams at least a bit of a consolation prize here. But at the end of the tournament, depending on how many bounties you were able to complete as a team, you get a share out of that bounty prize pool. So if you're interested in helping teams, or helping to incentivize teams to go for these things and make this a little bit more fun, then again, you can help with the crowdfunding of the bounty prize pool. The higher this is, the more the teams are obviously going to be willing to do stuff like a twin blade variant, for example. Again, link is in the description. Would be awesome if you would contribute, if you can. And the bounties that you see can only be completed once by each team. You can fail a bounty as many times as you want, by the way. It doesn't really matter. Because, again, you can only play a hero once within a series. So you can't fail the Butcher bounty like 3 times in the same match. And if it's a best of 3 series, that's impossible anyways. Because if you fail a bounty, it essentially means you lost the map. So it's been a lot of fun so far. Some teams are going for bounties. Some others have ignored them. So we'll see as this continues how this all shifts. But now that we're going into the series, we have the blue team already with the name Bounty Hunters. And you just look at the players on the team, it's already just insane fun because we have Breeze and Whoopi. Breeze and Whoopi are playing for the Bounty Hunters here for this tournament. And yeah, it's just going to be awesome. They have played some really clean games previously already. And we could actually see some bounties here from the Raccoons. The Raccoons have, in the previous series that they played, attempted a bounty on every single map that they have started. And now they actually have Chen here. Lily? Are they going to go for Lily Chen? Or they have played Chen in the past, so I'm not quite sure what to think about this right now. But we'll see. Also, a bit of a side note, you can't complete 2 bounties in the same game. If on the same map. If you technically complete 2 in the same, we've seen something like this in the past, you have to make a choice which one you want to check as completed and which one you want to try later. So, let's see what happens here. Currently, we're still waiting for the Bounty Hunters to lock in a hero that would allow them to go for one. There's Karazim. Karazim Lily, are they going to go for the double support with this? Yes. Yep, they do. Double support. And we have Chen plus Lily. So Chen Lily is a bounty. They're going to try and complete it on the first map of the best of 3 series here in the winner bracket final in Group A. And, well, blue team could still lock also a bounty-worthy hero in if they want to hunt some bounties. And I mean, that name, you better, right? They already let us down on the first map of the previous series, and here comes Valera. Ladies and gentlemen, game number 1, Battlefield of Eternity. First game in the best of 3, the Bounty Hunters on the left with Hazobs on Blaze, Dino on Tracer. Yasuo's playing Malfurion, Wooby is trying to clear the bounty as he plays Valera, and we have Breeze on Muradin. Over on the right side of the map, we got the Raccoons with Disciple on Hanzo, Gavlo with Karazim twice on Varian, Scourge is playing Lili, and we have Ubi on Chen. So we can say that the Raccoons are now pandering to the audience. So, also Raccoons playing Pandas. That's an interesting twist there. But who's going to be able to win this one? Either way, a bounty will be completed. The question is simply, which one? By now we have Valera with a crippling poison on level 1. And, yeah. Over on the other side, the freshest ingredients. I want some pizza. I would love some pizza again. I'm back on the pizza train right now. My races are basically over, so the occasional pizza is not going to ruin anything. So time to live, get some ice cream, get some pizza, and go! Now, some nice damage down at the bottom of the map. A little bit of tower scratching is happening. They're scrubbing the paint off the towers. That's basically what they're doing right now. Top side, Chen against Blaze, of course. And the double support is kind of making this interesting, but they really also need to play more of a damage build on Karazim. I mean, again, most of the time he's going to get a lot of damage chance anyways, but I would be surprised if they're going, for example, for a full-on cleanse build or something along those lines. Gavlo is going to play that hero as aggressively as he can. 7-sided strike. They need to isolate this a little bit. They still have damage there if they coordinate it well, but yeah, time will tell. We'll see. I mean, for now, we have obviously also a taunt that is coming through then from Twice. Yeah, I'm talking about Twice. They're already jumping. Imagine them having having a taunt already in this case. That could have been a disaster. But Breeze has to hop out here. Needs to be cautious on this. At the top, they're still totally fine. It's kind of wild, by the way, that when you have Wooby in the game, that Wooby is not playing the side lane. This is just like so strange to me. But him trying to obviously rock this with Valera. And still riding the money pick, as every sane person, of course, does when they have the money pick. It is the best mount in the game, always will be. If Wooby plays it, it has to be amazing. That's just what it is. Breeze jumping in, looking for another Stormbolt. And once again, Yasuo also with a spot-on route against Karazim. Haven't seen a kill yet. Level 4 talents are now ready. And that gives us Taunt, of course. So, yeah. Time to get some value out of Varian, I guess. And the safety sprint for Lili. Yep, and in addition, obviously having the camps now targeted. I mean, they're like 2.5 minutes in. You have the Immortal announced. Everybody wants to get some extra pressure on the lane, so the Shaman camps are getting claimed as quickly as they can. We can now got the Earth ally over here too. There's still a camp at the top lane that could be taken. Chen is just saying hello there, but they're just trying to be... I mean, they're faking this a little bit. They're not really making a move for this. They're just showing Chen. And they're like, yeah, send some heroes top. Because we don't want you at the bottom of the map, for example, as we are going for the objective immediately. And we want to leverage Hanzo as much as we can. And they're getting a very, very quick halftime show victory against the Bounty Hunters. So, yeah, that's pretty solid, yeah. Like, Hanzo, duh. Hanzo Battlefield of Eternity is pretty much the, like, absolute S tier. So, yeah. Jet Propulsion. Twice is trying to get out. Could still turn it now after the Immortal stun if he finds a target that he feels is stun-worthy. Valera is the only one doing damage on the other side, but honestly, she's not doing too badly here. Valera is doing a lot. I mean, right now, Wooby is getting tons of damage in on the red team's Immortal, way more than I expected here. But eventually, I would still expect the Raccoons to win at least the first objective, and they are about to. They also nearly got kills on Dino, Breeze, and Hazu. They might still get Hazu, but nope. The Jet Propulsion allows him to escape here, but the blue team couldn't have been too upset if they lost a hero or two in that encounter. But great job by them defending their own Immortal and keeping the shield as low as it is. That was pretty decently played. Muradin, by the way, has actually gone for Sledgehammer here, so Breeze is now trying to also get some extra damage in against structures and the Immortal itself. Chen's still down at the bottom of the map as Blaze is attempting to assist the defense at the top. 7 is ready for them. A little bit faster on the XP train. And they got some good damage in on the fort. The wall is already taken out. A little bit of extra damage on the fort itself. Not too shabby. No huge target for Varian, but they're trying to set up a little trap, and I like it. That has already been sniffed out. Goes for Tracer again. Dino zipped away, and they get a Hanzo kill. Nice. That was pretty awesome. Varian, he wanted to get the big damage out, and they just couldn't. Instead, it's Hanzo that falls, and that's obviously the only real range damage dealer that they have. So that was a nice play by the Bounty Hunters and a huge setback for the Raccoons, as you can see here. They're losing the entire wall. So essentially, all the damage has been done previously by the Immortals for the red team has now been more or less negated. Blue team did the same thing without using the objective, just by getting that 100 hit. Mutilate for Valera, and we got Relentless Strikes. Valera is a pretty tough one to complete too, by the way. She's been played a few times, and a lot of teams failed with the Valera bounty in the past. So she can be absolutely crushed. Coordinated well, Valera oftentimes becomes the target instead of being the hunter in a fight. But still down at the bottom of the map right now. We're having the fight over the camp. Everybody is here. The red team locks it in. And they grab this one. Also, Karazim has to be a bit careful. Still, there are plenty of heals around. And Lily has gone for let's go! So, they get at least a couple of camps. They're closing the experience gap. There's not really a whole lot that has happened here. We have seen a single kill so far. It's also our first Battlefield of Eternity game in Group A. And with the objective back up on the map, Hanzo is doing Hanzo things. But I gotta say, the Bounty Hunters have way more clear than I expected them to have. And the damage output that we're getting, for example, from Valera here is quite strong. So that's a powerful play that they're making for it. Oh, that was a nice taunt and a nice kill. Hazu gets caught and he gets killed by Lily. Lily was looking for adventure, she found Blaze, and she decided to murder him. And they're getting an early level 10 because of that. Disciple not paying attention and actually getting stunned out there for a moment. I think he thought he was out of range, but well, that's not the case. So now they have heroic abilities, and they will likely walk away with the second Immortal too. They're still defending down here. Arrow! And it hits hard! Nice save by Malfurion though. Well, at least initially. But then the Pandas, look at that. First kill by Lily and then the second one by Chen. The Pandas are absolutely running the show here. So that's now 2 kills for the refueled Raccoons. They're taking down Tracer. And yep, that's big. Smoke bomb for Valera. We got the top shelf plays from Chen as he went for the Wandering Kek. So he's gonna kick this out a little bit, and well, with the second Immortal, there's a chance that they're gonna do a little bit more damage this time. Now 8 minutes in, Whoopi trying to look for an opportunity on the side here. They gotta tee this up properly. Goes for Lily, and well, she's fine for now. There's the ult. Damn, they're really locking her down, aren't they? And Lily makes it. Lily is still alive, but they are about to lose. No, they saved this Disciple. Huge attack from the blue team, but they're not getting anything, and that means that the defense is suffering. They didn't focus on the Immortal at all, which means that their fort at the bot lane is now gone. Big arrow! Big Hanzo plays! Valera is gone, and now they go for Malfurion and for Dino, and baby, it's a triple. Full triple kill, quad kill by the Raccoons! What a sick play here! And they're going for the... not for the core, they're going for the keep. But damn, son, look at this chain of events there. That bot lane corridor became a death trap for the Bounty Hunters. That's 6 kills to 1 now. And they want that keep. Not sure if they can get it, but they definitely dropped it immensely low. That was fantastic for the red team. The blue team essentially just went on a bit of a YOLO mission where they were trying to take Lili out and then started to shift their focus over to Hanzo. And they just couldn't get the kill. Lili was able to survive through all of that, popped her ult, they couldn't interrupt it, and then they couldn't kill anything. They ignored the Immortal, which went just through the fort like hot butter through cheese. And then the team got chased, and Hanzo, yeah, he delivered. Disciple with fantastic plays in that corridor obviously really worked in his favor as well. And now we're looking at level 13 talents for them with a 1-level lead. They have nearly destroyed the bottom keep. They're in the driver's seat for sure now. Bounty Hunters can still get back here, but it's not going to be easy for them. So, yeah. That propulsion misses for now. Immortal is spawning in another 30, and they want the fort at the top too. And since this is only a 4 versus 5 from the perspective of the Bounty Hunters, they're not able to defend that structure. So this one is gone. Now the question is, can they win another Immortal? Because so far, both of the objectives have gone straight up to the Raccoons. The Raccoons were able to get everything here. And, well, 33,000 damage for Hanzo. Objective is back up again. Red team is, for now at least, defending. But they're soon gonna go on the offensive. Now, there is a level 13 talent on the horizon for the Bounty Hunters as well. But they're not quite there yet. Chen, silence! Can he keck? Ah, he doesn't even have to. Doesn't even have to use the keck. The flank kills Malfurion. He's dead. Dino is on the run. Blaze is at the top. And they're just losing too much here. They go for Whoopi. And I think this is going to be just another kill. They're going to get him eventually here. Yeah, if they... Yeah, there it is. They go for Whoopi, and he is going to fall one way or another. Hanzo is already trying to just hit the target, and Valera is now officially dead. Blaze is trying to get some hit points off the Immortal, but with 2 heroes killed in that last fight, I mean, to be fair, one already respawned. You can already see where this is going. They're trying again with another taunt, I guess. And, well, nope, they're saving the cooldown. But they have the shot at the objective now. And Valera is not back for another 6 seconds. Then again, Valera is useless anyways, so might as well fight now, right? So they're not waiting for Valera. They're trying to take the battle before she's back to business. With level 13 talents, they certainly feel confident. Lili pops her ult, gives them the sustain, and it starts to be a little bit of a standoff between the teams. So, yep. There it is. Blaze, maybe isolated. Ah, Marion came in for the taunt, but then the bunker got dropped on him. Chen has his keck up in another couple of seconds. Whoopi again attempting to assist him with the kill, and this time they actually get it, and they do. They do. Chen is gone. Did not have an opportunity to use his keck, so now it's a numbers advantage for the blue team, and they're immediately trying to go in for the next kill, but Haas is a bit low. They're trying to target him. Breeze is also dropping hit points. So the red team is not out of this fight just yet. They can't kill Muradin. He's definitely going to be healed up quickly. But they're trying to buy some time. And of course, guys, at the bot lane, catapults are starting to move in. They need to deal with this as well. There's already the minions and more damage on the bottom keep. They're trying to save it. And they are able to pull it off. The catapult hadn't connected with it at that point in time. But the camp is getting attacked here. We have Chen back to business. And they can reclaim the position in the middle of the map. And they're also, in addition to all of this, looking for the experience to grab level 16. Karazim has gone for the Sixth Sense. Blue team wants to go for the halftime show, locks it in, but there's level 16 talents, and that gives us even more damage with a way of 100 fists. Valera has gone for Strangle. Yeah, the arrow! Malfurion with the counterplay immediately. Trying to prevent the worst here. We can't lose more heroes. Hanzo will soon try and peel off to get immortal damage done, I suppose. But there's also a push at the top lane that has to be dealt with eventually. Because this camp could actually do a lot of damage with a catapult right behind it. Then again, fight is already about to start off. They want to go for Disciple, and Chen just kicks them all away. Lili already has popped her ult, but they're just trying to get some space. The attack on the Immortal is great though. I like how the Bounty Hunters are playing this. They're struggling in a lot of these fights, but this was a really nice push. Now, The red team has done a lot of damage against the opponent's Immortal too, so the shield is low, but still, that the blue team was able to take this one in the first place is already a huge accomplishment. So they did a great job there. Now they're moving down to the bottom of the map though. I think they're actually just going for... Are they? No. For a second I really thought they would just attempt to go straight up for that keep and then deal with the Immortal later, but obviously 16 is closing in on the blue team side, so they're just trying to get the Immortal attacked as quickly as they possibly can before there's an opportunity for the Bounty Hunters to get serious with this push. So even before they can move in, just as they have 16, the Immortal is already taken out. But a big part of all of this was that the Bounty Hunters were able to take the Immortal in the first place. If that objective gets taken again by the Raccoons, then it is a bit of a disaster for the blue team. They would lose too much. They would likely lose the keep at the top lane. If they lose the hero, they would lose more. So, still at 1 level advantage for the Raccoons. But can the Bounty Hunters bring this back? That last fight looked way better for them. Now they want that keep at the bot lane. And Breeze, I mean, he's riding a pretty pony here, but he's probably not going to be able to save this. Well, but everybody else that is all of a sudden harping back and assisting him is probably going to be able to, do exactly that. So, I thought they would just jump on it and auto-attack it. But then again, I also have full vision and know that the entire blue team was at the top lane. So they didn't know how many of them were already harping back and if they were trapped here. You don't want to YOLO too hard at this point, because you could easily throw that advantage that you have away and then find yourself on the receiving end. Now, this little play at the bottom of the map has now granted the Bounty Hunters a free fort. So that was pretty good too. And very little was accomplished by the Raccoons in return. So the calls that are being made are not bad from the Bounty Hunters by any stretch of the imagination. Really cool check here on the Fog. Making sure that they're not falling into that little death trap. So yeah, good for them. But the Immortal is now spawning again, and this is going to be an important one. Right now, we're going to see if they can claim another one. Talking about the Raccoons here. Seal Fate is in. It's a race to the halftime show. Nobody's defending. It's just an all-out battle between the two teams that they're currently going for here. And yeah, it's a victory for the red team. Not a massive one. And again, 2,000 hit point gap. But this has been a little bit more the moment of truth. There is a catapult at the top lane that is pressuring though. And we're now 17 minutes in, so this is starting to hurt a little bit. So they're losing a little bit of ground on that top lane and might even take some damage on the keep itself. The wall at least should be opened up. But, yep, the question is what happens around the Immortal. So once again, they're jumping into the back line. Yep, 7-sided strike, saving Karazim. Karazim saving himself here. That was actually crazy well done. Gavlo, beautifully played. And that was, of course, all the arrows that the Bounty Hunters had when they made that play. So they are failing to get that done, but they might get the objective again. Because the red team tapped the fountain, now they're re-engaging into the fight. Taunt is already out, they want to go for Breeze. He survives again. The Immortal is low. Topside keep has taken some damage as expected. And guys, the keep at the bottom of the map is likely going to fall. But there's the kill! They take Chen down. This could be the beginning of a total disaster for the Raccoons. They're losing Chen, they lose Varian. And that's 2 heroes down, and the Immortal claimed by the Bounty Hunters. Bottom of the map, the keep has been destroyed. Keep is gone. Top lane, they need to defend this too, or the top side keep is going to take even more damage. Muradin is already on his way, but this Immortal needs to do damage now. It's a big one. Well, 50% shield is solid. This is solid Immortal. So the fort is going to go down 100%. The only question right now is what can they do after it hits the keep. They're poking a little bit from a distance, but they're going to let that fort slide, obviously. They're going to wait for Chen, they're going to wait for Varian, and they're going to try and defend their keep instead. 82,000 damage from Hanzo. Valera, 25,000 by the way. Just about the same as Muradin, but of course a lot of utility that she offers and brings to the table too if they can coordinate these fights properly. Teams are both on level 19 now. And the coordinated aggression from the Bounty Hunters is actually pretty nice. Both of the teams are playing fantastic. We have immensely well coordinated attacks by the Bounty Hunters, but also very, very nice defensive plays by the Raccoons when they're saving heroes like earlier Lili, Karazim, Hanzo. They're really, really good to negate these explosive attacks, chained attacks that we get from the Bounty Hunters. It's super even at this point. Well, stretching a little bit too much, but yeah, there's a slight advantage, inexperience at least. There's a slight lead for the Raccoons, but both teams will have level 20 for the next fight. That keep advantage at the bottom of the map, it still matters. It's still significant. But this game could go either way. Storm Talons kick in. And, well, that gives us, for Lili, Mistweaver. So, Mistweaver is now in. We're actually getting Fist of Legends at this point for Karazim. And Hanzo with Bullseye as the added stun. So if they now connect a taunt with Varian, they have a lot more behind this as well. An additional stun goes a long way if you're trying to go for that one desperate kill. Both teams with Storm Talons now. Valera with elusiveness. So that could definitely help Whoopi to stay alive here, not become the target. Objective announced and will pop up soon. They go for the camp first. That's a lot of pressure on the top lane, by the way. Catapults on both sides, so if you are able to get that camp into a position where it starts attacking the keep again and clears the way for the catapults, then great. And they can get a lot here. But this is still 8 kills to 4, and this is likely going to be the last Immortal of the game. There's a good chance that we're going to see this one as the last. It's 21 minutes in, so catapults are hurting. There's the stuns, the heals from Lili. Chen alive for a second, did not use his Keck though. He didn't Keck. I don't think he was actually silenced at that point when he went to the top. So the Pandas both die. Chen and Lili are both dead. The bounty heroes are both gone. And this looks disastrous for the Raccoons. Chen, when he was at the top, I honestly thought he would start his Keck and try to get a little bit of distance just to be super safe. Didn't do any of that. Now we have the jet propulsion here. Root from Malfurion. They try for Muradin. Breeze jumps out. The red team is doing what they can to keep the Immortal low so that they can still defend and try and save the game here. But that double kill against the Pandas was absolutely crucial for the Bounty Hunters now. More poke is happening. Over here, Whoopi is doing his thing. Up at the top, the keep is likely gonna fall. This keep will likely fall here. Even with Blaze moving in, it could still get destroyed. He needs to take that catapult out as quickly as possible. It's doing way too much damage. I think he can barely save it. The keep will probably still survive, but boy are they taking damage on this one. This late in the game, the catapults, they hit like trucks. So them saving the keep is actually pretty big. But look at that shield. How are the Raccoons playing this now? At this point, yep, that's Karazim gone. You can't afford a death at a moment like this. So that's a disaster. This could be the end of the game. This Immortal is gonna hit hard. We're 23 minutes in. This bad boy is a beast. And he has a big shield too. It's a 5 versus 4 on top of it. So this is going to be nasty. Look at this fucker. He basically two-shots a tower at this point. The Immortal just comes in and dominates. Hanzo is doing the best he can to reduce the shield, but the blue team is already looking for additional kills. They're bounty hunters. They're not only hunting bounties, they're hunting heroes. But Breeze dies! Breeze goes down! First time that Breeze goes down. They lose their tank, but the keep is gone and the shield is still not removed on the Immortal. Can they defend this? Karazim back in 3 seconds. Chen jumps back out. Dino low, the shield on the core slowly falling. They got a 5-man to defend, but is it enough to try and set that defense up? Hanzo's arrow and the Immortal is just chunking their hit points down. The Immortal needs to be eliminated and they just can't pull it off. Tracer is gone. The Immortal is a monster. And that is the lead for the Bounty Hunters. They take the victory on Battlefield of Eternity.
Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV.
Map number 2. The lead goes to the Bounty Hunters. In a hard-fought victory on Battlefield of Eternity, they were able to take down the Raccoons. Now that we're heading into the second map, quick reminder, the 10 heroes that have been played on the previous map cannot be played again. They are out of the hero pool, so they have to come up with something different. Also, when it comes to bounties, let's go real quickly over the bounties that we have here. So, first and foremost, obviously, the bounty was completed on the side of the bounty hunters, so they now completed the Valera bounty, so good on them. And on the side of their opponents, of the Raccoons, they failed to complete the Lily and Chen bounty. As I said before, they still get a half point, so you get a bit of a consolation prize right now if you fail bounties. This is the first time in the tournament that we're doing this. We'll see how teams adapt to it and what they do, and yeah, if it works, then we're going to use it in the future as well. Makes it a bit easier for teams to really go for a bounty, because again, the risk reward is just a little bit adjusted accordingly. Now, also, in case that this wasn't quite clear, you can go for a bounty and lose it as many times as you want. So that's not a thing, but once the bounty is completed, that's it. You get the extra point for completing the bounty, and then no matter if you lose or win with the bounty anymore, if you continue to play the hero, you don't get anything else. It's actually pretty straightforward, just in general, but just pointing this out. And as always, if you have any questions around this, if you're watching this on YouTube, for example, right now, then absolutely feel free to post questions into the comments. I'm happy to answer them. Try to go through that. And as I keep saying, make sure that you also hit that like button on the videos. It really helps to just promote the video to more people, so that they see, hey, there is still Heroes of the Storm scene. There is still something where you could come back to and play a bit. Now, game number 2. Currently have with Towers of Doom is actually like an interesting pick. I mean, first of all, obviously the Bounty Hunters they love this one. It's essentially Team Exodia with Breeze plus Wooby. So they love to play on Towers of Doom. But one thing that has recently happened, I believe it was in the North America versus Europe show match, is that Dinu played Nova on this map. Now, Nova is a bounty. Just saying. So, if they think that this worked well for them and they want to do it on the same map once more, then they can actually do that right there and immediately jump in, take Nova, and try and complete that as well. Jojo is the first pick though, so Twice is immediately locking in Joanna. And what are we getting from the Bounty Hunters? Well, they start things off with Zeratul and Urel, so that's already pretty aggressive. I mean, Wooby's Urel is legendary, so that up at the top is going to be kind of fun. And then you have Dinu on Zeratul just roaming around here and looking for more kills. When both of them jump with the rest of the team into the opponent's backline, I mean, that is basically chaos and have a guaranteed. So the Raccoons have to really zone in on Zeratul and try and punish him. Right Wing with a Poly can do exactly that. So once Zeratul appears, you need to deal with him somehow. You have a Blessed Shield, you have Condemn, you have a couple of slows, you have the Poly now. They get Cassia. And the next question is, of course, if the teams are both going for bounties again. I would assume that for the blue team, we're going to get one definitely. I mean, they're in that lead. There's no reason not to play a bounty here. Even if you lose, you still can play, you know, through the next snap. But for the Raccoons, what is their priority? Are they just saying like, let's just try and win this one and force game 3? Or are they also going to risk it? Always assuming that I'm actually correct on my assertions about what the Bounty Hunters are going to do here. Now, we get Genji banned out. And what exactly are the Raccoons now getting rid of? Well, they don't want to go for Nubarak. You already have Zeratul and Urel diving your team. So they don't want to deal with Nubarak just cocooning a target, diving past, and then just crushing things completely with the other two melees that they already have locked in here. So, yeah. Now, at this point, Junkrat, Anduin. I don't think, like, I'm in my head I'm trying to go through the bounties right now. I don't think they have anything here. They're just trying to win the game. What could Breeze pick that is still a bounty? Butcher main tank. Butcher main tank, clearly. Thrall and Illidan. Okay, so they're going for Illidan here with Hunt, trying to complete that bounty. But on the other side, are the bounty hunters really not picking a bounty? This would be the second time. That's unacceptable. That's unacceptable. Am I missing something? Gaslo main tank. Do I have a hero that I'm just completely slipping my mind here right now that would be an adequate bounty attempt here? No, they go for Mal'Ganis. They do it again. You call yourself bounty hunters and then you come in with that crap. Towers of Doom. I mean, this team is a disappointment. This is a huge disappointment. Second map, it's Towers of Doom. Bounty hunters against the Raccoons. Well, match point number 1. Let's see who takes it. Game number 2. It is match point. And guys, I don't know what to tell you, but the blue team has been lying to us. They're not hunting bounties. No. Hazu on Junkrat. Whoopi on Yrel. I will never get tired of saying that, by the way. Whoopi in Heroes of the Storm. Back again on Yrel. Dino is playing Zeratul. We got Yaz on Anduin. And Breeze on Mal'Ganis. Over on the right side with a bounty attempt, the Raccoons playing the Trolling Thunder for Thrall. We got Scorch on Brightwing. We got Gavlo again with the unending hatred over here. Disciple on Cassia. And Twice is playing Johanna. Alright, so let's go. Can they complete this? Now, Illidan Bounty was actually already successfully completed by another team. Again, every team can complete each bounty once. But the Enjoyers, for example, have already played the exact same bounty and were able to take it. So, good on them. So one team was able to pull that off thus far. It's gonna be a little bit tricky though, because again, you're going up against a very tough opponent who didn't go for a bounty. Which I will keep reminding people of, because these guys are called the Bounty Hunters. There's a certain expectation if you go for a name like this. So, yeah. I'm just disappointed on a personal level. But again, like, jokes aside for just a moment, this is still going to be pretty difficult to beat. You have now Yrel, Mal'Ganis, and Zeratul trying to go for you. There's a lot of mobility that they have in a team fight where they can try and force some targets. We have a cleave build for Zeratul, so you can still make the argument, okay, it's not a Might of the Nerazim build where it's just trying to leech onto the opponent's backline the entire time. But there's also a triple melee now against them. And damn, Illidan got already cracked in the mid lane. Woof. That was something. So he didn't fully Lauber, it's not before the 1 minute mark, but yep, Illidan is first blood. Not a great start for him, I can tell you that much. Shots also is stacking down a bit, but yeah, the heal. The heal from Anduin. It looked for a second and like Thrall might just be able to get that kill. But the heal came through. Cooldown was up first. And that's safe today for them. Whichever team wins this series qualifies for the playoffs in number 1 position. So that would already be pretty big. Might be one of the reasons why the Bounty Hunters actually decided that they are not going for a bounty here. But I'm still a bit surprised because, again, this is game 2. They are in the lead. So even if they lose, I thought they would just be like, hey, yeah, we can always go for a full-on meta build in game number 3 if it comes to that. But they decided against it. Now, Ring of Leech for Cassia. And we're also looking at the quest for Thrall, so he's just going for the Frostwolf pack. And in the middle of the map, still a bit of aggression as Whoopi is moving between the lanes right now. And yeah, only 1 kill so far in the game as the first set of altars comes up. So it's a triple altar phase. Cleave build is being continued here. Where Illidan will obviously go for Hunt. The main reason that he's been taken here in the first place is that they want to go and do the bounty. And it's probably one of the easier quests to complete. Hunt Illidan isn't that horrible. I'm not saying it's great. I mean, again, we still have to incentivize teams with money to actually do this stuff in most cases, but it's a lot easier to swallow than a lot of the other choices that you have there, which eventually will be attempted by teams as they're thinning out their own bounty card. So the channel at the bottom has already come through. which means at the top right, if they get this one, then the Raccoons are at least initially getting the lead on the core points and the damage done. But it seems like Bounty Hunters are actually willing to fight for this. They're coming in and are starting to attack a little bit. Okay, but of course, at the end of the day, it's still the red team that claims this. Very rarely do you see a team take the opponent's altar away. Doesn't happen a whole lot, and we just don't have enough NA players in this game to make that happen. 42-0. Never forget. Oh, sorry, I got something stuck in my throat. Apologies. Yeah, so with level 7 talents kicking in, also gives us Unbound. Wormhole for Zeratul, and the blue team is starting to get more and more aggressive. So, yeah, they're starting to do their thing on the opponent's camp, and are trying to claim and steal it away. They're actually going for it. I was like, okay, I'm just nibbling around the edges and we'll back off eventually, but no, they're actually making the move and they're taking it. They're stealing the pumpkins away. So, yeah, job well done. Now, that immediately obliterates one of the towers. Great value out of this. Zeratul is sitting at the top. With Zeratul in the game, they now have a really nice setup where Urel plus Zeratul can control those lanes absolutely perfectly. It's a little wave here from Zeratul, for example, that allows him to apply even more pressure on the lane itself. Thrall completed his level 4 quest. As always nice. When you complete that early, that's always great. I think we had a series recently where it was basically never completed. And that definitely hurts you. Once you have a level 16 talent, you want to rely on that synergy. But in this case, it's all good. So, waiting for the level 10 talents. Obviously still a bit of aggression here in the middle. Whenever Zeratul makes his move, he also needs to be very careful. Seems to be a Void Prison build, by the way. Highly unlikely that we're going to get Might of the Nerazim with exactly that. Yeah, Twice is getting attacked, and Ruby still fine. They're all fighting around the altar in the middle. It's a single altar in the game now. But the blue team is going to get level 10 soon. All they have to do is delay this a bit. It's the only thing that they got to do here. Just delay it slightly, and then they're going to be completely fine. I would be shocked if the Raccoons wouldn't back off very quickly, and even that might cost them one hero. Twice not getting caught too hard, but what about Cassia, Disciple? Yeah, they all get away, but again, level 10 is now ready. Maybe the Raccoons can also delay this a bit. There's Void Prison as expected. Ruby's trying to get out, but do they get another interrupt? Nah, it doesn't look good. So yeah, this altar gets claimed. Sometimes it's just these small, tiny advantages. That's all that you need to get an objective. That's exactly what we saw there. I mean, the difference between one team hitting level 10 and the other was tiny in this instance, but it's all that matters at the end of the day. Now we got the quest completed for Illidan. He's level 1. Well, he gets the quest reward, but obviously he's going to stack past it. Hunt is ready, going for the bounty, as mentioned. We got Sundering. No surprises, honestly. Valkyrie. I mean, I suppose for Cassia, both are totally viable and we see them regularly. But in this case, they made a decision in favor of Valkyrie. Trying to get some Anduin kills in, I suppose. Only a single kill in the game. We're 7 minutes in now. Everybody just keeps poking, prodding, looking for opportunities, looking for somebody being out of position here. Anything along those lines. Unbound is in. So he's soon going to complete this one too. And yep. The big question still is who's gonna gain momentum by claiming a few bell towers first. And how are these team fights going to look now? Because, again, blue team went full meta build on this one. Zeratul can always play around the light bomb a little bit as well. In this case, they didn't really get a whole lot out of that, but now we have the double altar phase coming up. And Zeratul has not used the VP yet. You can always section off some targets. I mean, if you, for example, have a situation in which you can easily isolate Brightwing, and then there's no heals, and you force the rest of the team to fight on your terms, that's always a big win. Or if you just simply cut the team in half and collapse onto a target. Illidan, maybe in the late game, he could become a huge threat right now. He's a nuisance at best. Can, of course, always hunt onto, let's say, Anduin. They get the channel, And it's an easy trade between the two teams. Junkrat channels the bottom of the map, and the red team got the altar in the middle, so now it's 28 points on each side on the core. They go again for Illidan. Valkyrie is missing. Did not connect here. Oh, but this could be a kill, and it is. Mal'Ganis goes down. Breeze is eliminated. And here comes the light bomb, and they get a counter kill. Illidan went a bit too hard and gets punished. As he should. He's been a bad, bad boy. Now, 13 talents. Gonna kick in next. But it is a fairly even game. I mean, game number 1 was already super even. Battlefield of Eternity was honestly awesome to watch. The Raccoons are one of the teams that is just so fun to watch lately, because they came in the Anniversary Cup as a huge surprise. And it was brilliant. I really, really liked it. And seeing them perform well in this tournament now too is just fun. It's awesome. It's really awesome. It doesn't really matter if they win here or lose, but just the fact that they made the first game already so close, and here in game number 2 are fighting on absolute eye level with their opponents is fantastic. I want to see them in as many more tournaments as we can get, and it just seems to work for them. Synergy, the flow, how they're coordinating things, yeah. Fantastic team. Definitely want to see more of them in the future. For now we have them here in Group A, and they are off against a tough opponent with a lot of tournament experience. I mean, we have a ton of former HGC players on the side of the Bounty Hunters. And I mean, arguably, Dino would have made it eventually into HGC. So, and has since then pretty much dominated the scene. So yeah, there's a lot going on here. Shots fired on each side. Again, they're still dead even on core points, even in experience, and continuously looking for an opportunity to finally, you know, break this little, it's not really a stalemate, but finally, you know, flip the script a little bit, tilt the scales, and gain some momentum on this. Damage output, well, we got Cassia with 20,000, Thrall is at 23k. On the other side, with 26,000, Junkrat is reigning supreme. 25,000 for Zeratul, and then we got Illidan on 17,000. For Illidan, it's actually pretty good how this is working right now. He's able to stack up his level 1, he's able to slowly get into the late game, and the more we get into the late game, the better for Illidan, just as a general rule of thumb. Khaldor is getting attacked right away. Trying to get out. Gets the assist from Brightwing. So yeah, better safe than sorry here. But they're setting up Thrall at the bottom of the map, and this should be a kill. Ooh, no chance. I mean, he gets the Sundering through, but there was absolutely no way that he gets out of this. So kill number 3 for the Bounty Hunters, and they're closing in on level 16 talents now. But yeah, poor Thrall just gets absolutely hit hard. No chance to escape. The Sundering, yeah, could have argued that it's a waste of a cooldown. But either way. Blades of Azeroth are in. We get the synergy for Thrall now with Alpha Wolf. Big fight in the middle, breaking out with the 16 talents, which of course also finishes the cleave build for Zeratul for now. VP's 3 in the back. They're focusing on Illidan. They want the kill here. And Gavlo gets saved by Brightwing. Breeze is low, but gets away. And even with a Junkrat mine, can they kill the Disciple? And the answer is no! Instead, it's Zeratul that dies. That Zeratul death hurt. That really hurt. Dino thought he could get the kill, but far from it. Check that one out. That was a massive, massive one. Huge win for them. Cassia was actually dropping really, really low, but they got the kill, and Cassia survived, so now they have the momentum. They kill Yrel at the top, and now they have momentum. Illidan with a hunt. Anduin is ruining the fun. They were hoping to get the bell tower here, and they can get some damage in, but the question that is more important is, can they even take that altar? And, well, with them eating the grenades one after another, the answer is yes. So, shots are fired, and that means the Bounty Hunters are now down to 16 points, and they lose Anduin. Illidan, I said it before, he's now gaining the momentum. He's getting stronger and stronger. 16, he's thriving here. The opponent down to 3 survivors. They have to sacrifice that bell tower. That bell tower is gonzo. 5-2-3 now. Could maybe even try to go for the boss, but they go for the pumpkins instead. Illidan at 59 stacks on his level 1. But this is looking pretty good for them. Yeah. Gavlo is definitely gaining more and more momentum in those team fights. They are one level ahead, a little bit more than that. And yeah, the bounty hunters, they need to stabilize here. It all started with Zeratul falling. And then after that, they lost more and more heroes. And it was just always them attempting to catch up. They were desperate to try and save the bell tower at the top, and it just didn't work for them. So now they need to reclaim it and make sure that there's not too much momentum building up for the raccoons, or this could get snowballed. Currently, the difference on the core is negligible. 4 points, nothing. But bell tower control, that's a different story. So now that we have an altar spawning down at the bottom of the map, even more important that you hold on to the bell tower here. To go for that fight, of course, too. Now, pumpkins are about to be taken apart. But this is going to be a pretty important fight here. Illidan with the pseudo-global can go back towards the middle. No problem for him. But that's 5 versus 3 shots fired, depending on who claims the altar. They try to go again for the kill. Light bomb engage in the back. Uses the VP to isolate them. Illidan came in. Goes for the interrupt. Gets put into a corner. Gavlo about to go down. And he dies. Gavlo is gone. Illidan. He came, he saw, and he got murdered. Veni, Vidi, BG. Get wrecked. 3 shots. So not quite equalizing things. But they are now at least able to take their bell tower back at the top. Still, that was a pretty important one. Look at the experience difference now. That's something that they can work on while they have the numbers advantage, but obviously the Raccoons are going to get that early level 20 talent that we've been talking about earlier. 4 kills to 4. Top side, yeah, Wooby is going to claim this one. Zeratul is in the meantime trying to get them more experience to catch up a bit faster. It's another 12 seconds until Illidan is back. And, yep, there we go. We got a double blink, Bolt of the Storm, and Wind Rush for Thrall. Blessed Shield gets upgraded. Cassia went straight into Titan's Revenge. Ah, and Anduin again. That old little Killjoy. Just as they tee everything up perfectly with a Blessed Shield plus a Valkyrie, Anduin comes in, just simply pops his trade, and that ruins 2 ults for them. Level 20 talents now for both sides. Seraphim is ready. And we got the Seeker Swarm. But the bell tower gets taken. Now the good news for the bounty hunters is they at least regain control over their top lane bell tower. So even though they are now losing this one, they're still in a position where they're not falling too far behind. The altar spawn is not horrible, it's in the middle. So that's simply something that they can get here. But, boah, that game. What a game right now. 53,000 damage for Junkrat and for Cassia. Zeratul 45,000. Thrall on 35k. Once again, Yrel trying to create a little bit of space. And Illidan is doing Illidan things right now. This is the problem with Illidan. Once that he's in that position, you can just go for structures. Hunts in, they try and get the kill, and Yasuo is gone. They need a counter kill. Zeratul is looking for it and cannot find it. This is bad. This is really, really bad right now. If Hazu gets the channel, maybe that helps them. Interrupt attempt, and they get it. But Gavlo went too deep, and he dies. Anduin is gone. There's no healer for the blue team. But at least Illidan got destroyed. Breeze is gone. Oh, what the hell? Whoopi, calm the hell down. What a kill. Whoopi comes in, and they get a double kill on the back of his engage. And now they get the shots here. Blue team back to business thanks to the Whoopster. Look at this one. Breeze dies and then bam, he sees the opportunity, comes in the Yrel Zeratul combo that I talked about already at the beginning of the game. In the draft even, and they are just crushing the fight. It already looked like the fight was over. You lost your healer, you lost your main tank, but then that little play, they just stack up perfectly for Cassia. Whoopi sees it, comes in, Dino on his heels. The two of them crushing Cassia and Brightwing. getting the kills, and now the momentum. The bell tower has been retaken, and they are themselves applying pressure at the bottom of the map now. Whoa! Wild stuff. Absolutely wild stuff here. So, Whoopi in the middle of the map now. Yeah. Trying to do his thing. Illidan back on the way towards the top. 7 kills to 6 now in total. And down here at the bottom of the map, yep, they are trying their best to make sure that they're not losing too many hit points on the bell tower. They don't want to lose control of this. 14 points to 13 on the core. It's close. It's really, really close right now. Pumpkins still up. Only on one side now. Twice already showing, like, yeah, I dare you. I dare you come in here. But again, Illidan. Illidan on structures. He's at the top. He has a pseudo-global that he could use if he needs to. So they're getting a lot of value out of this. The blue team is forcing the pressure play at the bottom of the map to force Illidan at least towards the middle. Nice dodge on the Valkyrie. Illidan attacking the mid lane now. First altar channel is in, and they're down to 10 points. But Illidan and his side lane plays is a massive problem. He has the bell tower in the middle now down to 50% of its HP, and at the top it's even less than that. So every single time they're letting Illidan alone on the map, it just basically means that it's going to be a massive attack against the bell towers, and eventually they're going to lose some here. Yeah, nice. Good job by Ubi, just jumping out of the Void Prison as Zeratul was trying to use it. But there's still a chance that they are going for Cassia. They want to kill Zeratul immediately there. But Disciple is still alive. Oh my god, like, yeah, honestly. This is a massive problem, as I said before. This is a huge problem for the Bounty Hunters. They can't lose control. But Illidan making it onto these side lanes is going to guarantee them structural damage. Yeah, Yrel in trouble. Blessed Shield! This could be a kill on Whoopi. Whoopi is mega low, but he gets out. Priest, again, they also need to fall back here. And once more, it's just Jojo trying to make the move. It's so insane now. They gotta monitor Illidan. Illidan needs to be absolutely monitored wherever he goes. As long as he's with the team, there's no problem. Him going towards the middle or the top, that's an issue. Gavlo is already there. He's at 74 auto attack damage now on his level 1. As the game continues, he will be more and more of a pain. Absolutely. He's going to be mega annoying here. But, yep, right now, it's the next altar. It's a double altar phase, actually. Double altar phase at this point. And Brightwing is the first one to start the channel. And does not get interrupted. First chance in. Illidan jumping into the back. 9 points on the core of the Bounty Hunters. And they're about to lose Breeze. No, he gets saved. Saved by Anduin again. But they need to fight. They need this fight right now. They can't play the long game here. I don't think they have what it takes to win the long game. Illidan becomes stronger and stronger. They're going to lose bell towers at the top and in the middle if it gets to that. And currently they're also down in points. If they need kills. Blue team moving in, trying to take Gavlo out again. Void Prison in the back. Sectioning off one. They are moving in with Whoopi again for Brightwing, but they cannot kill the little thief. Fairy dragon. Blah. Fruit Fly is still alive. 4 shots fired. 6 points to 9. Whoa. Illidan is now going to be... I mean, honestly, I don't really know how the blue team wants to do this right now. They're going to lose their bell towers now. Illidan is taking the top bell tower at this point. Top bell towers is taken. So they're losing this one. I think the blue team is just trying to take the one at the bottom of the map instead. Push aggressively here, do what they can, escort the pumpkins in. I mean, they got a buttload of them because they stole the opponent's camp. So, yeah, that should help them to claim this. And, yep, they are able to pull it off. So it's going to be 4-4 on the bell tower count. Light Bomb, Anduin, and Illidan gets him. Illidan gets Anduin. They need to kill him. And they lose Mal'Ganis. This is a disaster for the Bounty Hunters. Whoopi, he's also going to die. They're going to lose Yrel. That's 3 heroes down. This could be game. Dino was trying for a kill and couldn't get it. It's a 5 versus 2. 5 versus 2. Dino still looking for Illidan and just says, hey, if you stay here like that, I might actually get a kill on you. But they're going for the bell tower in the middle now. There's a double altar coming up as well, and it's active in 23 seconds. So Dino can try and defend at the bottom of the map all that he wants, but this is disastrous for the blue team. The Bounty Hunters might lose this one. There's a good chance we're going to game number 3. They go for the boss already, and after that, all they need is a single channel. If they get the boss here, all they need is one channel. And they're claiming it. Boss is about to be taken. Yeah, goes for the VP. Might get a kill here. Yeah, well, Sundering is out. He gets the kill on Thrall, but he dies in the process, and that's the end of it. That's game. Channel has already happened. We're going to game number 3. GG. Game number 3, we're going the distance, everybody. So, we have our final map. And it's actually a little bit amusing to me that the team that went for a bounty and accepted a handicap was able to win. And the team that went for pretty much a meta build lost on the last map. So, obviously we have a couple of questions around this. But first of all, just to note it again, we have now 20 heroes that are unavailable. So 20 heroes that can't be played again because they have already been played in the previous 2 games. Reduces the map, the hero pool a little bit. It's not going to be too insane yet. That's for the best of 5s or potential best of 7s. So yeah, let's figure out what we're now having on 2. The important part is to also kind of think a bit about, hey, what are we getting in regards to bounties? There is actually something that I just found out a second ago. And just to show you the bounties again so that you can have a bit of a look on this. The Twin Blade bounty was actually completed. There was one series today that was not commented on stream that we had to play at the same time just because, well, it's the only way that we could make the schedule work. And in that series, we had the Raccoons play in the first round against a bit of a weaker opponent. And apparently in one of the games, they used Twin Blades and they won with it. So it was a first round match. But to be fair, I would in a group stage also expect most teams to try and complete Twin Blades. But yeah, the Cocoons have already locked that in. So they've been doing pretty well. They've been using Bounty in every single game that they played so far. Clearly not only aiming for the tournament victory, but also saying that at least in the group stage here, they're going to try to accumulate as many bounty points as they possibly can. So we'll see what they're going to do right now, or if this is actually the one where they're saying, yeah, now we're going to try and just win the game and go straight to the playoffs. That, by the way, is an insane double pick. They get Orphea for Disciple. If you watched the Anniversary Cup, then you know that Orphea was regularly banned out against Disciple. And if teams didn't ban Orphea against Disciple, he very, very quickly showed them why they should. So now they get Orphea and they have Medivh, which is just an awesome comp. A good Medivh player can destroy an entire game. Can be massive. On the other side, we have Vala, we have ETC and Uther, so there's definitely some moves for the Holy Cow. Divine Shield Moshpit. But I like what I'm seeing right now. This is going to be a spicy draft. And I am not so certain that the Raccoons are actually going for a bounty at this point. If you're this close to qualifying directly for the playoffs, you might actually just say like, you know what, we're just going to go full meta on this one, and we're going to win the group now. Very, very eager to see what they're going to pull off here now. But, yeah, we could still see some bounty attempts. I guess technically, Bounty Hunters could also go all in on Vala as a hyper carry and just go for additional healers here, create a bit of a front line and try and keep everyone alive. Then the question is like, is Vala enough to really kill stuff on the other side? I mean, in that case, if they really want to do that, then they would, for example, also add Kerosene for some added damage. Stukov has already been banned now. Yeah, here comes Diablo. Breeze on ETC is also going to be a blast. And we get Rhaegar. So, side lane as the only thing that's missing. And I'm currently racking my brain thinking about what kind of side lane bounties are still available. I guess Gazlo is something that they could use on the side lane. if I am not mistaken, did they already complete the Probius bounty? I'm not sure. Yes, the Raccoons completed the Probius bounty, so it's not going to be Probius. So proper side laner, or are they going to go into something fancy with the bounty? Oriel, but no bounty again for the bounty hunters. No bounty attempt. We get Oriel plus Uther, double support, Vala hyper carry, and then on top of that we have Dehaka. And here comes the Gara. They could go for the Nidus bounty. Nidus bounty decided, but that means that they only have Diablo at the front. Now they have Medivh to cover for that a bit, but this is still them accepting a handicap for game number 3 of the series. We are in the winner bracket final of Group A, and whoever wins this moves on to the playoffs. Ladies and gentlemen, game number 3, the Bounty Hunters against the Raccoons. It's the final map in Group A for one of these teams. One of the teams will advance to the playoffs. The other team drops down into the losers bracket and has another chance tomorrow to qualify. Dino now, as expected, obviously with Vala and auto attack, double support already indicating that pretty clearly. We have Breeze on ETC, Whoopi on Dehaka, Hazops on Uther, and we got Yazu on Oriel. Over on the right side of the map, Disciple with one of his absolute crucial heroes, Orphea. He's a beast on this one. Gets supported by Gavlo on Medivh. We have Ubi on Zagara, twice on Diablo, and Scorch on Rega. So, let's go. Yeah, absolutely key will be Medivh plus what we're seeing from Disciple. I guess Zagara to an extent as well, because if she all of a sudden starts getting farmed here by the opponent's side laner, that would be pretty bad news. They have to focus a lot on Diablo. There's also, by the way, a wombo combo potential with Diablo Apocalypse after Leyline. It's unlikely. We don't see it a lot. It comes off occasionally, but most of the time, that's not really what the teams are aiming for. It's too easy to play around it and to negate the value. But Orphea and some support through Medivh should be interesting for sure. Now, we'll see how much they can do here. And obviously on the other side, we also have Breeze on ETC, which was always a key hero for him. And something where... If you've ever watched Breeze in a pubby game playing Storm League on his own stream with ETC, it's absolutely ridiculous. He basically single-handedly destroys the opponent's team. It's absolutely busted. So, yeah, he's just crazy on some of these things. But, again, can they pull it off against an opponent that has now shown multiple times that they are insanely powerful and that you shouldn't count them out. Medivh, by the way, is speed stacking. 16 already! The game hasn't even started yet, dude. We went through 2 minion waves, that's it. We're 1.5 minions in and he's sitting at 16 stacks already. So, yeah, he is definitely speedrunning this a bit. If he can keep that up, he's gonna have it completed in no time. So, Gavlo needs to watch out a bit. You don't want to die here. You don't want to get licked by the Haka all of a sudden when you're about to complete your quest or ETC making a big play. The portals are slowly being set up here and they're rotating from lane to lane. No problem for him. And Orphea is just chomping away. Goes into Backbiter on level 4. Nice boost, obviously, with the passive as well. So another thing that they're gaining through this makes her a little bit more chunky. Then again, good stacks also for Vala. She's sitting at 34 right now. So working towards that first quest reward. 24 now for Medivh. Gavlo, he's there. I can already tell you though that there's 100% already some talks on the blue team about it. Where whenever he starts to move out a bit too much, he's going to get quickly hit by a stun and they're going to try and take him out here. But Gavlo sitting at 24 at this point is pretty solid. Now they're trying to get the interrupt on Diablo as he's attempting to prevent them from getting those turn-ins, but 24 gems and 21 have been delivered. Yeah, lick on Diablo. Diablo is completely isolated here. And that's not only a quest reward for Vala, but also the first kill against Diablo. Gavlo apparently didn't have the tools available to save him. So, also talking about Gavlo, he's at 32 stacks now. Not bad. Disciple at the top gets attacked too, but there's the stun! And Orphea goes down. Great start for the Bounty Hunter. Very good start. Guys, they stole a ton of gems with those little plays here. That's a lot of gems lost on the red team side. So Zagara at the bottom seems to be doing okay here. Also still a lot of clear that she has. I mean, damn, that is a lot of free filmers. The wave clear that she brings in helps her to push for the towers. That's actually big. But the blue team is now summoning the first set of web weavers. Easy turn-ins, of course, for them after they got the kills. And also denying gems to the opponent is always a plus. They have an early level 7 talent, which helps them too. The double support Vala is going to allow them to be hyper-aggressive with her. And that's exactly what we've been seeing from Dino pretty much throughout all of this. 35 stacks for Medivh, so he needs to be mega careful that he doesn't die now. As they push in with web weavers, but he's going to try to get those hits. And, well, he's getting close on this. The whip is missing. Good. Gets one more stack in against Vala. Diablo is sitting at the side, is hoping for an opportunity to make a move here too. 38 stacks. Cavlo is 2 hits away, and there it is. 4 minutes and 30 seconds. Damn, son, that is respectable. That's some fantastic stacking for Medivh, so good on him. I mean, that's some serious speed stacking. Baseline completed. Now it's time to get those shields out on the rest of the team. Orphea still at the top, dancing around Dehaka. But down here, portal control through ETC. This is one of the nice things when you're going up against Medivh, that when you have ETC, then he has a lot of tools to portal control and prevent heroes from going in or out. Good attack against Vala too now by the Raccoons. They weren't able to get the kill, but they seriously threatened her and kept dying on his toes. So yeah, that wasn't too bad. Creep tumors are obviously getting destroyed all over the place. But I gotta say, that defense was pretty good. They have enough gems now to get their own turn in. And they should really try and work on that. But there's not too much that has been lost now. The fort at the bottom of the map took some damage. That's where the blue team was the most active. But we'll see what happens now around turn in number 2. Because the blue team is also getting closer on collecting enough gems so that it could theoretically at least get a turn in of their own. Yeah, there we go. Nice. As usual. Quest complete. Time to feed. Oh yeah. It's always the same, isn't it? Medivh says hello and then he gets immediately hit, but he doesn't care anymore because he has his quest completed already. So yeah, it's still a 3rd kill for the blue team. And the bounty hunters, they are now looking to take down Diablo. He's able to escape, but we have level 10 that gives us Aegis, Mosh Pit. I would still expect a Divine Shield from Uther, and yep, there it is. The double panic button so that no matter what happens, they can keep Vala alive and make sure that she doesn't lose any of her quest rewards. You want to maintain that attack speed for her. Leyline Apocalypse! And we get Nidus. So they're trying the bounty with Zagara, as expected. Nidus network for her. And we get a Leyline Apoc wombo combo from Medivh and Diablo. Alright. Let's see if that works out for them. And if Zagara can leverage the Nidus network here. Turn in for the blue team is nearly completed. Guys, they might get that 2nd turn in before we are seeing the 1st one for the Raccoons. They are dangerously close on it. Dehaka could just move over, turn in. Well, not yet. 3 gems is a little bit not enough. Oh, the mosh pit! And the kill. Even with the Apoc immediately being used, that's Medivh dead again. Yeah, Medivh is down for the 2nd time now. 4 kills to 0, and that guarantees the turn-in through Uther. So, blue team, web weavers, once again, are going to be descending here. Down at the bottom of the map, Zagara is going to try and do his best in order to defend, but I think there's going to be some forts that will fall now. 100%. The combo, by the way, between Uther and ETC is just the best. The holy cow. Give me that Divine Shield and then it's party time. So, they got a kill. They got the Web Weaver wave. Now the bot lane is going to fall 100%. That fort is gone. The main question is, can they get more than that? Vala is also now at 115 stacks, so that's even more damage to the auto attack. Still hasn't fallen. Yeah. Top side. Uh-oh. Disciple. They're going for Whoopi. And they cannot get that kill. They also need to deliver the gems of Disciple, because that's 40 gems that Ophia is holding here now. You don't want to have that many gems on one of your damage dealers. Don't want to have that many gems on any heroes, any hero if you can prevent it. But by now we have level 13 talents nearly ready. The ley line is in. No Apocalypse follow-up here. Was still on cooldown. Aegis, Apoc, and Dino is dead. There's the Vala kill. Loses 5% of the attack speed bonus. Now they go for Breeze. He's not going to make it either. There's the double kill right there. 2 heroes down on the side of the Bounty Hunters, and a sign of life from the Raccoons. This should be a turn-in finally for them. Now they can get the turn-in. And they have also elite inexperience to get level 13. I mean, again, this is something that's getting bridged within seconds, but still. They have not only negated the advantage that we had previously from the blue team, but they have even overtaken them a little bit. So now that they get their turn in here, nearly 10 minutes into the game, how much damage can they do with that? Vala with Tempered by Discipline is back to business now. But losing her is reducing some of that threat that she poses and will pose once that Manticore is available. The question still remains, how much damage can be done now by the Raccoons as they're pushing? They need to try and leverage those Web Weavers and get some value out of them. And they're 5-manning in the mid lane. They're 5-manning this hard. Zagara is finally making a move towards the top. She has still Nidus networks down at the bottom of the map. But over here, they want to take the wall out, but they need to do a little bit more than that. Only taking the wall is not going to be enough. I guess the Haka will appear at the top lane in a moment, and yep, go straight for Zagara here. Wooby is trying to pressure this back, but this is a fort that falls. So, yep. First Web Weaver wave, and they get a fort, and they get a Wooby! Maybe, maybe not. Leyline is out. Here's the Apoc. Jump, 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 and Wooby is gone. Wooby is gone. Some of the gems get collected, but they might not be done with this yet. They're pushing the blue team back. There's the Mosh and the shield plus the Ancestral. They save the target. Disciple also still alive as they're slowly falling back here. Ooh, huge fight there in the mid lane. But while that played out, the Web Weaver at the top has done more damage. So the keep is taking some damage, the wall is already open, and the team just collapsing onto the fort at the bottom of the map is now guaranteed a second fort with their first Web Weaver wave. So that one was highly successful. They're ahead in structures now. The Bounty Hunters are actually behind in experience, behind in structures. And they've lost a lot of ground through that last play. And there are still enough gems for another turn in now. And they get it immediately. And they will likely now push with the level 16 talent advantage in a few seconds. As long as they just collect 1 or 2 more minion waves, and there's already one available in the middle and up at the top lane. So, yeah. Bounty Hunters might have a problem here. 35,000 damage for Ophia. We got 38,000 for Vala. And here come the level 16 talents, and at least initially, that will give them the upper hand. There's one fort still standing, but they could also make plays on the side lanes in an attempt to go for some of those keeps and damage them a bit more. Diablo is already sitting at the side here. Vision granted by Medivh, of course. They're totally falling back. I mean, again, they're not even trying to defend this. Not even attempting. They're only defending the top lane with the Haka. But here comes the push with the camp, plus also the Web Weavers. So this is going to hurt. They're going to lose the wall 100%. I think some damage on the keep is inevitable, but they can save it. Ophia is already threatening them a bit. And here's the play against Yasuo, but Oriel survives. The keep is taking damage. 16 talents now on both sides, and that gives us Manticore. Apoc used. They're trying to go for ETC maybe again. Breeze still has his Mosh Pit available though. Web Weaver at the bot lane is also pushing, but here in the middle, that's 50% more than, that's 70% of the keep HP gone. And down here, the wall is getting murdered. That keep is also going to take a bit of damage. How much? Still to be seen, but all of the keeps on the blue team side have now taken damage, and they're still pushing in the middle, pressuring, trying to keep at least a few of them from the bot lane so that they don't easily defend all of this. That is a very, very nice yield from the 2 objectives that the Raccoons got. I mean, that is a lot. The Bounty Hunters, on the other hand, they are not broken yet. They're slowly cracking here, but they're not breaking. And Vala is looking for the damage now. She has Manticore. And she only lost 5% of their attack speed. She died only once. So, yeah. The attacks are slowly coming. There's still a couple of Nidus networks also up on the map that Ubi could use to later on. And by the way, while they are fighting for the next turn, and this is a problem. There's a catapult on the keep in just a few seconds. So somebody might have to go back for that. Bot lane gets also pressure. Blue team is so close to a turn-in. 2 gems is all that they need here. Need nothing else. But yep, at the top, they're going to defend this, but the keep is taking more damage. And actually, it's taking a significant amount of damage. That is a lot. They still have to fight in the middle. I don't think it's going to fall. The minion wave should take everything out. But this is still a lot of extra damage on the top side keep. There's so much pressure now on the Bounty Hunters. It's actually pretty crazy. Vala is still in the top damage position in the game, but this might change as well. Orphea is certainly trying to hunt her down right now. So they're starting to defend, and that triggers an attack at the boss at the top. Medivh still providing vision here on Breeze. There's a good... Actually, I expected the blue team to try and go for that turn in, and I think they're doing that now. So they're trying to turn in here. Diablo might go for that interrupt. Boss is taken, and they won't get that turn in time. They're still getting bullied around the turn-in point by the Raccoons. So now we're having a boss at the top lane. Ah, the ley line. Okay. Yeah, you're not going to catch Whoopi that easily. So this is going to damage the top side keep even further. Not sure if it's really going to take it out. But they are already on the second part of that little 1-2 punch combo that they're setting up here. Getting the camp towards the middle, where obviously this keeper is also taking a lot of damage. So the defense is there. Keep is still standing. Bit of damage has been done. 1 level until 20. Curious if they're still willing to push with this, even though they're not on level 20 yet. And it seems like they actually are. Diablo, a little bit more slapping here from Orpheus. The Haka came into the backline. There's also another set down at the bottom of the map with Siege Giants now pushing in. Honestly, what the Raccoons are doing just in setting all of this up is awesome. It's really awesome. So many problems for the Bounty Hunters to deal with at the same time now. It is fantastic. Attacks coming in everywhere. The keep in the middle taking more damage. Level 20 being so close now. And them still preventing the turn-in from the Bounty Hunters. There's a lot going on here. And the blue team deals with it really well, but just the fact alone that they have to split themselves this thin here, time and time again, in order to deal with the situation is already great. So the attacks keep coming. 20 is close, but that was a real nice one. Leyline is in. Mosh Pit as well. The Ancestral saves Orphea once, and she still dies. Blue team finally found the moment, but it comes at a cost. The top keep goes down because Zagara used her Nidus to jump to the top lane and destroy the keep. Now level 20 is ready. They have the advantage. Blue team turns in. Eldritch, Conduit. We get the pack instinct. Medivh is cheating. Yeah, tell us something we didn't know. And yeah, that's a moment for the blue team to try and push these lanes back. Get their own level 20, but they lost the first keep of the game. First keep is gone. Medivh still trying to get the connect here with ETC and does, but I don't think there's going to be a follow-up. Orphea's down for another 20 seconds, so that definitely hurts. It was a good kill, but they lost the keep. Now they have to make up for it. 54,000 damage for Orphea, 55,000 for Vala. Zagara's at 51,000. She's getting big damage out now with those Hydralisks. But this is an 18-minute objective. Oh, stun, needs the portal, and nope, that's the end of Zagara. Beautiful catch. Stagger death. Orphea is back, and Zagara is gone. This is exactly how you're trying to play this. This is exactly how they're hoping to get this set up. Breeze gets a Divine Shield, barely survives. Same is true for Yasuo. Good damage output from Orphea, but again, they didn't have Zagara here. Their second damage dealer was missing, so they could not get the kills. And now they are on the receiving end of the beating. 6 kills to 3 in total. If Zagara would have been there for that play, 1 or 2 heroes would have fallen for sure. But now the keep at the bot lane is eliminated. They're Bounty Hunters. They know this is a big opportunity for them. This is a huge chance to try and end the game. and they're trying for it as we speak. Web Weaver is defeated, though. I'm not sure they can just 5-man the core here unless they get another kill. And Medivh is going to do everything he can in order to prevent this. Diablo bullies his way back out. Top side keep, though, also about to fall. Second keep falls. The play at the bottom of the map still continues, but the blue team is going to fall back as Zagara now respawns. Or are they? Maybe they think they still have a shot here to end the game as is. Well, they need to be careful that they're not losing anybody. Now it's a 5 versus 5 again, so you want to be careful. Vala's at 20, is at 225 stacks now. Diablo with the portal looks for the engage. They're trying to stop them. They're trying to chase them down here. Ihaka sitting at the side and gets the isolation on Ophia. Gets the isolation here. Leyline once again. They're still fine here. Apo gets used. Double stun. Triple stun. They go for the wall. Eeg is used. And here comes the party from Breeze. The Ancestral who keeps Zagara alive. But what a fight. And Uther is down. He has redemption. Uther goes down. He has redemption. They're starting to fall back again. Look at the gem count. Blue team nearly the second turn. And the same is also true for the Raccoons, but they're a little bit behind. Hazu is eating more damage as Uther gets attacked again and Medivh just keeps cheating. Time and time the ley line setup against the blue team. 73,000 damage from Ophia, 61,000 from Zagara. Vala outpacing both of them with the damage output. 80,000 for her. It's getting wild over here. 6 kills to 4. They're looking for targets. They go for ETC again. Mosh isn't ready. Divine Shield is though. Diablo gets attacked and gets a portal. Immediately gets a portal. Is back in. Gets the wall stun against Oriel. And the Divine Shield saves her. Oh my god. If Oriel dies. If Oriel goes down in that moment. Boy, are they in trouble. Because the turn-in is already gonna happen. Well, actually, they might still be able to interrupt it. And they do. Leyline is out again. And they're trying to go for a turn-in themselves. Diablo gets killed, but he had his stacks. He's going to come back with a Vega version, but he's going to come back. Vala unleashes another quest reward on her level 1. And the blue team gets the turn-in. That might seal it now. Oh, boy, was this close. The red team was so close to get their own web weavers. And now, 21 minutes into the game, this could have spelled out the end of the game. And it likely will now, unless we're seeing some kills. And it all hinged at the end of the day on the save on Oriel. If she falls, the turn-in happens and the red team pushes. But now we have the Bounty Hunters with a huge opportunity to go straight to the playoffs here. Ophia, massive damage. I mean, honestly, Disciple on this hero is such a beast, it's ridiculous. They go for Medivh. He's still alive, gets moshed around a little bit or pushed around. Leyline, and the timing a bit messed up here. Yeah, they didn't get... Guys, this is bad. This is bad for the Raccoons. For the Bounty Hunters, this is the dream. Web Weavers just pushing hard here. Bot lane has been defeated. Mid lane saved for now. Unbelievable, they actually saved the keep. Top lane push, that's where the Web Weavers are still a bit of a problem. They have to deal with that. Zagara might be the one to try and take care of it. Oh, Medivh, the Ancestral, and he gets away. They haven't been able to take this out yet. This is actually insane. The defense is amazing. The Bounty Hunters have been able to save everything, even the keep in the middle. There's the ley line once more. They caught Vala, but the mosh pit from ETC and Medivh. He gets the shield. He gets away. Unbelievable, what is happening here? Medivh finally dies, and the blue team has another chance to go for the core. What a game, what a series. 23 minutes in, and the Raccoons do whatever they can to save their core. But now they don't have Medivh anymore. No more ley lines, no more shields, no more portals. And that makes all of this just so much more difficult for them. That's Diablo gone, and I think this is where it breaks. This is where it breaks. Vala is nearly done with her quest, by the way. 5 more auto attacks and she's completely done with her level 1. There it is, fully completed. Ophia falls. So does the core. This is game. What an epic, epic match between the Bounty Hunters and the Raccoons. It's the Bounty Hunters that move on to the playoffs and the Raccoons drop down into the losers bracket. GG. Well played. Fantastic game.